Welcome to Mine EX-Plorers, episode 72, where I'm joined by Crystal Burgex, my terrible ex-wife, and her awesome cat, Blue, who's sometimes a terrible cat, but lately he's been really cool.
When can I be the awesome ex-wife and have a terrible cat?
People don't like to watch shows that don't have drama.
Ugh.
You remember when we wanted a reality TV show for Mojave Underground?
I did not want a reality TV show, just so we're clear.
I don't think any of us really did. For me, I thought having a reality TV show with Mojave Underground was a path to go from working full-time as a meat cutter to doing what I really wanted to do.
Right.
And just getting out and exploring and having fun. And so I didn't really want a show to have a show. I wanted to have a show to get the freedom to actually do what I wanted to do.
Which, funny enough, if you had the show, there would be no freedom and everything would be scripted and you'd be told what to do.
We would have made it one season and it would have been okay.
It would have been okay.
And then it would have then when we pivoted and started Burgex and had a serious career, a lot of people would be like, those are the clowns with the reality TV show.
The yahoos.
Although apparently now you can run for mayor with a reality TV show of a big city. So.
Right.
Yes, we did actually shoot a pilot and some teaser reels and things for a reality TV show.
It was mediocre at best.
Back in the Mojave Underground days. And they said, tying it all back together, they said that, quote unquote, from studios and networks who looked at it, Discovery Channel, History Channel, multiple networks saw our teaser, and they said there was not enough drama.
No.
And so they tried to get us to fight.
They tried to get the whole group to fight. I remember there was a whole episode just on one of our members, his name's Maya, just like they wanted us to like hone in on so when he gets really hangry, like what is that like? Like does he get mad? And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we really don't have enough drama for you. Sorry.
So for the show, I joke about Crystal being terrible just to add a little drama.
Add a little
excitement.
spice.
Well, I mean, a lot of these mining podcasts are so boring. You got to add a little bit.
They are so boring.
Add a little bit of personal element. So,
all right,
we got a cat.
Spice it
up. We have a cat, and he comes and hangs out, which is kind of cool. And today, I brought a sample that I'm going to test live on the episode.
Woo.
So I was in an abandoned mine on Friday that produced fluorspar and was in an area known to produce uranium.
Okay.
And so I'm curious to see if there's any uranium in this sample. And generally it's the kind of thing I would definitely test ahead of time, but I thought it'd be cool to test it live on an episode and see. But you can see it's like cartoony yellow.
It is cartoony
super duper
yellow.
Bright. So
that's what we call yellow cake.
Yeah, and it's super superficial too. So it's like it's caked on the surface and not deep inside the rock. And so I suspect if there is uranium here, it's trace. But fortunately, it's a heavy element, so we should be able to pick it up with the XRF. I've got my lead shielded plate here. I've got my gloves on, my breather, all my PPE, as you can see clearly. And I'm gonna shoot it with the XRF, and I also have all my PPE for the XRF too, obviously. Let's see what we get here. So this is an XRF. It's a PXRF, portable, and it will shoot a rock and tell you what's in it. Of course, it's got some limitations. But for something like uranium, it should be pretty good. So there's a lot of potassium. It is loaded with potassium, which is a good sign. 71,000 ppm potassium. So that's pretty crazy. Calcite, iron, titanium, barium. It's saying 181 ppm gold, which is definitely wrong. So it's picking something else up there. Strontium, cobalt, zinc, and it's showing a big fat 0 for uranium. So it looks like uranium, but obviously it's something else But there is a bunch of potassium, so it is clearly radioactive. I think if I had a Geiger counter, it would probably make some noise.
we have a scintillometer.
Yeah. Right here, is it in your pocket?
It's in Blue's pocket.
So with any kind of testing instrument, it's always good to kind of do a repeat. See what you get. If it's similar, almost identical. So showing a whole bunch of gold in here, which I strongly suspect is not accurate.
Is a misread.
Yeah, so it's misreading. There's a lot of something else. And I think it's the potassium. I've never seen a potassium reading that high. 72,000 parts per million potassium. That's insane. Very, very high.
I mean, to get a more representative sample, we'd want to crush it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's showing some tungsten, which is interesting. I didn't bring a light out.
Well,
Arsenic.
that's fun. So you're prospecting for uranium and fluorspar.
Mostly fluorspar, but I know there's a little bit of uranium in the area, so I went ahead and just collected some
And
samples.
Utah has one of the only active fluorspar mines in the country. Is that right?
North America.
In North America.
The only active.
Right. So it's one of the more rare commodities.
Or
at least go in production,
yeah,
right?
so it's like anything else where China
has dominated
took
the
the
market,
dominated it, and so now production is rare. And it doesn't mean the U.S. doesn't have it. Like there's huge
No, it
fluoride
doesn't mean the U.S.
deposits
doesn't
in
have it.
Southern
It
Illinois.
means, is it economical to start a new one? Right.
So there's huge fluoride deposits in Southern Illinois. I used to know a guy who had a lease on them. And I tried to email him the other day.
Oh,
It's been
right.
years
He
and
sent
years.
us those gorgeous crystals
Yeah.
of pure fluorspar. That was incredible.
I might need to try his phone number, but I tried his email and I didn't get anything.
That's been a long time.
But yeah, so it's Utah has historically produced fluorspar. So is Colorado, so is Montana, so is New Mexico. And it is rarer. That you don't find it in great big huge deposits that are easily mined. It's usually in veins or it's in breccias. And so it's kind of narrower, high grade, similar to tungsten, what we'd look at. But China took it over and really kind of flooded the market. And so now we're looking at domestic sources. And so they're building the first mill in a very long time in the US in Delta. So they can process ore from the Lost Sheep mine.
Wow.
Very strategic.
Right. That's right.
Whom we've worked with. And now I'm just prospecting around looking for some other deposits.
Fluorspar is on the critical mineral list. Is that
uranium.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's on the critical mineral list.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty high up on there. So yeah, so interesting. Just kind of to draw some parallels. So obviously I collected a sample, I scanned it, and like any exploration, I was pretty sure it was uranium, but it's not, but it's something else. And so there's still things to be learned from the Pathfinder elements, the other elements, like the super duper high potassium. Like I've never seen it that high, 70,000. Like,
Sure.
obviously that's something else entirely.
So if you were really interested in this project, what would be your next step given that sample?
I'd send it to ALS and have an MEMS61 run on it.
Okay, so you just go straight to the lab.
Just a multi-element ICP analysis. Yeah, mass spec.
And did you say you found that inside the mine?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, and it was a really weird mine, like super odd.
What do you mean?
So there's a kind of an open cut that goes down. You're kind of in the trees. There's an open cut. And then in the bottom of the open cut, there's a head frame, an old metal head frame that you can't even see if you're at the top of the open cut. So it goes down, there's an old metal head frame. And then inside the metal head frame, under the head frame where the shaft would be, is completely filled in. There's nothing there. Naturally, because it's in this trough.
Oh,
it's just
right.
filled in, it's soft rock.
Yep.
And so it's completely filled in up to the top
So
of the head
anytime
frame.
it rains, it gets more sediment
and
inside.
so it's
Yeah.
completely filled. So there's no shaft. But then off to one side, there's an old adit that's kind of filled in. And then off to the other side, there's an adit that's bigger that all the local wildlife, the cows and deer and everything, go stand inside of because water collects in there. So there's a bunch of animal tracks in the clay in the bottom.
Oh, funny.
And then just tons of bugs, and it smells weird. And then there's this uranium looking stuff, which if it's potassium, the scintillometer should still pick it up on it. And it's definitely an indicator that there's very likely uranium there. Very, very likely. But I did look at the radiometric surveys that Earth MRI did in December, and there is a potassium high in that area. So yeah, I'm not totally flying blind, but I'm interested in the fluorspar, which was formed with very similar processes. So they could be one in the same area.
So did your fluorspar come from the same area, or was that a different location?
Yes, I got fluorspar from that. Not that mine in particular. I didn't get any fluorspar samples because it just wasn't in it. It wasn't in the right part of the vein, but it was more to the center where the shaft used to be. But I did get some good fluorite, purple and some green and blue fluorite not too far from there. That should be pretty good. But PXRFs don't pick up fluoride either. So I can only look at the trace elements there, calcite and other things. And then I need to send that off for XRF. But anyway, overly technical, probably not that interesting. So I have a list of questions to interview Crystal because I talk a lot on this show, which is a surprise to all of you, actually, to know that I talk a lot on the show.
It's the Stuart Burgex show.
Yeah, so I have questions for Crystal, and they are really good questions. I had AI come up with questions.
Of course.
And it's the AI that have been feeding all the transcripts from all of our episodes.
Okay.
So it has all the transcripts from all of our episodes. Not all, but going back to like episode 30.
Do I have to make any predictions? Because that's really not my area of expertise.
No, these are personal questions.
Personal? Oh,
Yeah.
Fun.
Personal questions. So, Crystal, what was the first mine trip where you thought, okay, this is actually pretty cool?
Are we okay to say locations?
Sure.
Because...
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all the statutes of limitations are long past now.
Okay, cool. So first,
I mean, you started 20 some odd years ago.
well, the first mine trip, the first mine that I've ever been in, I'm pretty sure was the Ophir Hill, if not very close to that
well,
area.
we had permission there, so that's not even...
Well, we did have permission. We did get permission, but that was like, because coming from Alaska, I had no idea what an abandoned mine was. Like, that wasn't even in my vocabulary. Like, I knew there were mines, I think. Gravel pits for sure, because they're everywhere.
Well, on the Kenai Peninsula, I mean, are there any underground mines on the Kenai Peninsula?
No, there's not one, but there's a million gravel pits.
Right.
So I had zero expectations, had no idea what it was. It was probably a pretty dumb thing for me to do as a young female, going out with people such as yourselves. But it worked out okay. So I took the risk because I didn't have anything else to do. But no, the Ophir Hill, absolutely.
Very cool mine.
Yeah, I mean, the first time in there, it was rad.
So, and that is a very cool mine here in the Oakers.
Oh, for sure.
Privately owned and been kept in really good shape by the succession of private owners, which is cool. But it has history in it from 1872 all the way up until 1972.
Yeah.
So there's over 100 years of different mining history. It obviously not mined contiguously. It stopped on and off and everything. But the next question, what was the sketchiest abandoned mine situation you remember from the early days?
Oh, there's been a few. I think it was the Red Dog mine in San Bernardino, California, where we had to cross those planks above the open stope.
Here's a picture.
Yeah, there's a picture. It's a great photo. Love the photo, but that was not my favorite, and I would not do that again.
So I've got the weird mine memory. So that actually wasn't the Red Dog. That was the Waterman mine.
Okay, same
but there was
area.
Easily 100-foot drop below those.
Oh, that was one misstep and dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something about some of our Brett trips, but...
Oh, yeah, that's true. That one is always my first go-to because I was legitimately terrified, but I also wanted to leave the mine.
Yeah.
And I was like the last one to go.
Made for a great picture.
Oh, it was a fantastic photo. I love the photo, but yeah, the other ones would definitely be anything with.
Yeah. No, but that one, that's
The Brit
legit.
tips.
Like no rope.
No
The
rope.
drop below you isn't like an illusion where it looks like 10 feet.
It's you do not look down. You legitimately do not look down,
It was
and you
at
just
least 100 feet.
just have faith in your ability to have good balance.
And the guys who put the timbers in
right.
80 years
well,
ago.
and you guys went ahead of me, and you're all much bigger than I am.
What are you saying?
You're fat.
Not anymore.
No, they actually weren't then either.
Nope. I just got fat in the middle when I had kids.
Go figure.
Happens. What did abandoned mine exploration teach you that later helped you build Burgex?
A lot, surprisingly a lot, because we didn't just explore abandoned mines. It wasn't like going out on the weekend. At the beginning it was, but eventually it turned into creating an organization of team leads to show other people with the same interest of how to explore abandoned mines safely. Because what we saw when we first started is nobody took exploring mines. They took safety was like a second thing. Like
right.
Wearing gloves was like, why would you do that? Putting on a helmet. It's like baseball cap's fine. It's like, we can do this a little better.
Right.
Right. It's like driving with seatbelts, It's like, sure, it's kind of an option, but why would you not?
Right.
So learning how to implement safety has been a great one. And then learning how to just boss boys around.
Yeah.
No offense, but it was a team of boys.
Oh, yeah.
Grown-ass men with, kind of childlike mentalities, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, the core team was kind of between 20 and
45.
45.
Yeah. But getting it organized, making sure everybody was fed and logistics were taken care of. And that really has helped me with all of the work that I do at Burgex and learning marketing and, just organizational skills and people skills.
Managing people, bossing the boys around. No, and it's mining is obviously a very male-dominated industry. Exploring abandoned mines, very male-dominated industry. The abandoned mine exploration community is kind of a subset of the off-roading, jeeping, outdoor community. It's kind of a subset of that, with some weird crossovers with the caving community.
Yeah,
but
not
usually
as much as you'd think.
Yeah, the cavers who get into abandoned mines are usually outcasts.
It's kind of funny. That is a weird dynamic that we saw, because the cavers was their own thing and they didn't hang out with us because we were the weird ones.
Yeah.
But the cavers are the weird ones.
They are the weird ones, yeah. But for sure.
It's a cool hobby.
Of really cool, really interesting cavers, but
a lot of interesting cats in that space.
Definitely interesting cats.
Yeah.
What is your favorite thing to find underground?
Carbide writing.
Carbide writing.
Love
very
the
cool.
carbide writing.
Yeah,
there's
some really fun stuff.
So cool, and you just never know what you're going to find, and usually it's a little graphic, which is always hilarious. But what I like is you go in one direction and then you see it, but then coming back the other direction, it's completely different.
Yeah, you'll see all sorts of stuff. They draw cartoons of their boss. It's fun pictures of their boss, poems, lots of phallic drawings. They love
lady profiles. Lots of lady profiles.
Yeah. Well,
I like even the dots on the wall of them marking all of the cars that go out of the mine. I think that's really fun because you can see oh, that was a great day. That was a very productive day. They have 50 marks on the wall.
Yeah, and it seems once again, back to the Ochres and that Ophir Hill, Buckhorn, Hidden Treasure, those all had tons of carbide writing. Big walls.
Beautiful.
In the Hidden Treasure, I know there's a spot where there's a fault. The mine cuts into a giant fault, so there's this huge slick inside that's just this big smooth wall, and it's just a billboard that the miners rode on for 50 years.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah,
really
and it's
neat.
all preserved, and you can't see it unless you go down, so we've got lots of pictures of that. Mm-hmm. What's one abandoned mine memory that still sticks with you?
Probably the Brit trip. Of going down into the dump shaft and just having a real shit show of climbing down the ladders. It's hot, it's dusty. You're just trying to survive the day.
Yeah.
That the rake incident where I dropped a radio down and then I'm trying to go down the shaft to go find it because I needed the radio, and then Brit drops the rake on my back.
Yeah. You had a crazy bruise.
Oh, it hurt like hell.
Yeah, and then
I was so mad.
Yeah, you almost got caught in the winch cable.
Yep, we almost got caught in the winch cable when we were, 150 feet down?
Yep.
And, poor communication on the surface. Again, back to safety. This is why, you have to trust the people on the surface.
Yep.
And just dealing with man-child.
Well, and the guy who was on the surface is one of the most untrustworthy people I've ever met in my life.
100%. And we gave him the most important job.
Yeah.
When you think about...
we gave it to him because he wasn't physically capable of doing any of the other jobs. But he was the kind of guy you wouldn't trust to watch your dog.
Right.
But then we put our lives in his hands.
Well, it's so, I know, and hindsight's 2020, right? It was man, we were so dumb. But, we needed to earn a buck because we were hungry. So it's just so funny because, when you think about how mines operated back in the day, and even today, the hoist operator was the most trustworthy person of the entire operation.
Right.
Because they're legitimately responsible for every single person that goes in and out of that mine.
Yep.
So you have to trust them. They're sober.
Yep.
And they have the most respect out of the entire team.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you look at the story of Sunshine and other mine disasters where, the hoist operator is literally the captain of the ship.
Right.
Yeah, I remember reading in the Sunshine, there's the main hoist, and then there was another underground winds with an operator, and talking about, 3 different guys dying in the chair trying to get as many people out of the shaft as they could.
Yeah.
And the carbon monoxide.
Yeah. Yeah, so that one sticks in my brain of just how dumb can you be?
Pretty dumb when you're in your 20s.
Dumb. Yeah. We took the risk.
Shifting, I have a lot of questions here. The AI, because it had all the transcripts and everything, it actually came up with some really good questions. I'm very impressed.
We're not going to do 900 pages of questions.
9 pages of questions.
Oof.
Stay tuned. Refill your coffee. Sit down. Just kidding. I'll pick and choose some. But there's some really good ones here. So when did Burgex start feeling like a real company instead of us just trying to survive? What was that day when you're like, this is a company now, not just a lifestyle company?
Well, when we did the deep dive with Jason's company, Anton J. That was when we took it from a mom and pop op to this is how you build a real organization. It was that 3-day intensive deep dive, and then everything after that was a company.
So 2020, really?
2020.
So you spent
March.
10 years getting it to that point, and then the last 6
Yeah,
because
before then, we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
We had employees, and we'd hired people and done stuff.
I said what I said.
Okay.
There was no structure. We had no written values. We had no growth plans.
90% of companies operate that way still.
I'm not part of that. We operate differently because we want to.
Right.
I like the structure. I mean, I felt like that was a great way to say okay, so you have this company that but really what it is it's a day job. Right. Because everyone's doing the day-to-day work, right? But this is how you get it to the next level.
Where it actually runs itself.
Where it actually runs itself. I mean, the way I think about it, if I were to I can go on vacation for a week, a complete week, and not touch base with the team. That's a huge win.
That is a huge win.
That is a huge win.
But you're right. That's when it shifted.
That's when it shifted.
What was the hardest part of the early years that people probably don't understand?
Of our early years?
Mm-hmm.
I think the hardest part for me was not understanding the industry, because we started in a very backwards way. We got into mining, being a service provider for the mining industry as abandoned mine exploration. Mm-hmm. Nobody does that.
Right,
Nobody does that unless it's a side thing. And having no background about mining, having no parents who were in the industry, and just starting from scratch, but then trying to figure out...
And not having the formal education.
And not having any formal education of just trying to figure out, what the hell kind of industry are we actually in? What does this industry really do? So, learning absolutely everything from the ground up. And that's something that I still work on a like a, day to day. Like, what does our industry do? What are the services that they need? How is it growing? Who's investing into the industry, Like, who are our clients? Like, just those kinds of things. It's like always changing, always learning. So in the beginning, had no idea even how to do it.
Right. It's a lot to learn. What did we get right early on that still helps us today?
Grit.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Grit. Taking the risk of not knowing how to do things and being honest with our clients of like, we don't know how to do this, but we'll try. And you know what our clients did? They said, that's great. We'll learn with you, or we'll teach you how, or we'll show you everything that we know, and then you can take it over.
Yeah, being honest for sure. I mean, and I try to do that too. If we're doing something new, like, hey, this is a new thing we're offering. This is a new direction we're going in. So let's work together to do it better. And sometimes that means offering a discount. Sometimes it means the timeline's going to be a little different. Sometimes it's something challenging that nobody's done before.
Right.
But letting them know, like, hey, we're not experts in this because it's not something that anyone does.
Right, or it's something new that we want to get into. So if you're willing to work with us, we will do our absolute best and go from there. But yeah, it's taking that risk of, and this is one of our struggles that we have with the team sometimes, is they get scared of that unknown space, and it's something that we really need to add more into our culture of like, that's okay. Not knowing is okay.
Right.
But we still have a core value of we own it, so we can tell the client that like, hey, these are our limitations, we know that, but we're willing to go the extra mile to figure it out for you.
That's a good answer. Grit, and it really back to our core values. We baked our core values into how we've run business, and so grit's really one of them in like 3 different ways.
Yeah.
What did we get wrong early that you would warn other entrepreneurs about?
I feel like we got everything wrong.
Yeah, being a successful entrepreneur is definitely not about doing everything right.
Right.
You just get things right enough and learn the lessons as you move forward.
I think, I don't know if there's like a right answer to that. But right now, I would say that people always say if you hire the right people, then the work will figure itself out.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily true, because I think hiring the right people is absolutely a part of the equation, but I still think you have to feed them your core values and your culture to make sure that they know that it's okay to make mistakes, or it's okay to take that leap of faith and all of that. Because if you just hire the right people and let them go, you still, if you don't inspect what you expect, then it can fall apart really quickly.
There's no excuse to abdicate leadership.
Yes.
You still need leaders.
You still need
so
leaders.
You can hire the right people and they can come in and do things, but you still need good leaders. And even if you're the board or the chairman or whatever, even hiring the right CEO isn't enough. You still need to have the right alignment and expectations.
There is no easy fix in business. Let's just say that.
No, there isn't. Just add money.
That's not an easy
The next
fix.
question is, what business lesson did you learn the hard way? But I think the answer is kind of almost all of them.
I don't know, all of them.
Yeah.
Not letting people go soon enough.
Hire slow, fire fast.
I think that's been...
Inspect what you expect.
The
assumption is the mother of all mistakes.
And they're all such great quotes and they rhyme and I love that, but they are the hardest ones to implement.
Yep.
Letting people go is the most difficult thing you will do. And it sucks. Even if you don't like them, it still sucks.
Right.
And when you like them, it sucks even more.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, I don't know, I want the best for anybody on my team.
Right.
But sometimes it just doesn't work out, and sometimes you can't. It's like a team, I feel like I need to get team approval to be like, is this the right decision? And sometimes people can't decide, and it can really drag out, or I drag it out, or you do, or whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, we've definitely gotten burned by dragging it out.
And then when it happens, it's like this breath of fresh air and it's a relief, and I'm sure the other person feels the same way, and it's just like, why did we wait so long?
Yep. I think you might have kind of answered it, but you might also have a different answer. What's something about running Burgex that's harder now than it was when we were smaller?
Besides everything?
Not everything's harder now.
No, not everything's harder now.
But what's something specifically that is harder now?
I struggle with, we have a couple of older people on the team, seasoned people. I struggle with communicating with them on the same level. They come from a different generation. I'm very much younger. And so it's hard to find that balance of where are we really in alignment. Because
Right.
they have a different way of doing things. And it's not about being right or wrong. It's just how do I communicate effectively to them?
Right. Right.
That's a challenge that I didn't know that would happen. And I do my best to like read on communicating, but man, it's hard.
What makes someone an A player at Burgex?
Trying.
Trying?
Just trying.
Trying to be an A player or just trying in general?
Just trying. Going back to that grit conversation of, hey, we have something new and challenging in front of you. How can you solve it? Can you solve it? Are you willing to put in the effort to solve it?
Team fit, can do, will do.
Can do, will do. I mean, that all
Follow
goes
the core values.
back to our core values.
But I mean, I think for me, and once again, I guess I can only ask so many interview questions before I jump in. The A players to me are they're trying and they're self-motivated. I don't have to babysit them.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That's the important thing.
Exactly. You can give them a challenge and they'll figure it out. And
Yeah.
if they don't figure it out, they'll tell you how they did it, what happened, the roadblocks they came in, and maybe that's when you intervene, or maybe you find outside sources, whatever.
Yep.
You teamwork it. But it's those are the people who really separate, because you have the people who will just try and figure out as best they can on their own and then come to you with issues or a solution, and then you have the people who will be like, too hard, didn't try.
What is the worst mine smell?
Animals. Bats are pretty bad.
Yeah, they have a pretty strong smell.
The ammonia can get really strong.
Yeah, from bats.
It depends on how many bats.
Right. A few you can't even smell. I can smell sometimes if there's like 10 bats in a small mine. But if you're in a mine with hundreds of bats, it's pretty strong.
And then wood rats can smell quite strong, especially if they're actively living in there.
Yeah, I like that smell though.
Yeah, you're weird.
Yeah, it just makes me feel like I'm
Didn't
in a
Harley
mine.
have a song about wood rats?
Yeah. And sagebrush in the rain.
Sagebrush in the rain. No,
Yeah.
that's a great smell. I love that smell.
I've got some fun rapid fire Pepper questions to throw into Pepper in here.
Pepper.
Including one about Pepper, which is why I read that. But then between the more serious ones, because I don't want it to get too heavy.
Yeah.
Just getting into the people and the HR stuff.
Rough day.
Yeah, so how do you keep culture strong when half the team is scattered across the field in projects or working remote?
It's a great question. When somebody has that solution, will you let me know?
Yeah.
I mean, we do our best, right? I have a monthly newsletter that
I think the monthly newsletter is great.
And that's what I tell
meetings.
everybody is we don't have time. I mean, we used to do the team quarterly meetings, and I love those. But there's no point of doing that if 90% of my team's out in the field.
Right.
Like, there's no value there, and I very much do not want to take away from people's day-to-day operations with a meeting they probably don't need, right? Like, if it could have been an email, let's do an email. So the monthly newsletter, I think, is the best way to keep everybody abreast of what's going on with the organization, who the new people are, where we at with revenue. We try and be very transparent with our numbers so the team knows how healthy we are.
All the numbers, yeah, which is great.
I like to highlight to members every month of people who are just going the extra mile, just kicking ass, right? Of just, and then I secretly give them $100, which is always really fun. So I like to do little things like that and just, try and acknowledge the good things that people are doing. And then, of course, our love language is food. So feeding the team as much as we can. It's hard with the remote folks, though.
Right.
So
it is hard. That is a challenge. And And yeah, it's a challenge that's not unique to us at all.
No, it's not unique to us. Doing the one-on-ones helps with everybody.
Yep.
It's just those little touch points that don't take a lot of time, but I think overall it's very impactful in the long run.
What do you wish younger geologists, land people, or field techs understood sooner?
GIS.
Yeah, it's useful for all of those. Yep. Should be a much bigger part of the curriculum.
I mean, it is. So we did find out that there are landmen and they do learn GIS, which is awesome. But geologists, it seems like it's an elective.
Yeah.
Or like something like...
Probably really depends on the program.
It probably really depends on the program, but learning...
it's such a key tool.
Being proficient in a GIS program is like a must-have.
Right.
Like we're training our geologists right now on ArcGIS, and it's just like, why don't you know this?
Yeah.
We'll take the time and we will train them, but...
And it's not super hard to learn.
It's not super hard.
For basic stuff, you can learn it in about a week.
They're not doing modeling. They're not writing scripts. Like, they're doing the very bare minimum, but it's like, why haven't they learned this before us?
Now the AI wants to really mix it up and get personal. What is the one thing you think that I still don't fully understand about the day-to-day at the company?
People.
People?
Yeah, you struggle with people.
Oh, for sure. I'd get rid of all of them if I could.
Oh, I know.
Not really all of them, but
sure.
Yeah.
If
I could just go back to me doing most of the work,
you would.
At my original 90% margin where I just did it all myself.
No, the overhead would be amazing.
And I'd make more money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I couldn't just go take a vacation.
Right. Because everything would stop.
That's the trade-off. No, you manage the people way better, and I'm good with the big picture and the ideas.
You're good with the big pictures and the ideas and the pushing the team into new revenue streams or services. Right. So that's really good. So like, I think you and I actually have a good balance, because you'll push the team to learn new things, to go that extra mile, to take on a new challenge that we might not understand, and then I'm there to, like, you know, kind of nurture and care.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, because people get scared. I scare people all the time.
You should honestly scare more, but
yeah. I could do that. What is the weirdest part of still building a company and doing a podcast with your ex-husband?
The timing is a pain in the ass. I left work in the middle of the day
to find time to sit down
to find time to do
every
this.
week. Yeah. Well, and like we talked about earlier today, I think it's time you go out and shoot an episode on your own.
So I don't think it's weird. I think it's just finding the time.
What part of our dynamic actually makes the business stronger? I think you just answered with the previous one. I see the big picture. You manage and nurture, which works really well. I try to push us outside of our comfort zone. Yeah,
you and I are in alignment. And when you and I are in alignment, we can make a lot of things happen. So as long as we keep up the drama and start fighting, you know, I'm just kidding.
Right.
As long as, you know, we communicate well, and we actually do the founders retreats where we go and think about the big picture and we plan. We did it really well this last year. We did it super well. That, like, I'm still executing the things that we talked about, and it's like, I feel like I have more clarity now than I did like a couple years ago. Yeah, we actually executed that really well, and it was a great plan for... It was a great use of time. Well, and the thing is, like, and I know we haven't actually talked about it a lot on episodes lately, but because we brought the AI into it and it was part of the founders retreat and driving the discussions of what we need to solve, we left it way more organized. No, we did. But because we started a new tab in that too, which we'll do this next year, we can go back to it and ask questions and follow up and give updates, and it's actually still tracking. And it's even gotten better too. way better. From just 9 months ago. Yeah. What's one thing I do on projects that still drives you crazy? Somehow, I think it's magic, but you have, whoever you work with on a project, that person just shits the bed. And I don't know if it's you or if it's them, but I'm seeing a common denominator. Yeah. So like, you'll do phenomenal work, the client will be thrilled, and then you'll hand it off to somebody else, and then it just goes to hell. And it's like, why? Why does this keep happening? So I like it when you are not involved in programs and I can have my team do it from start to finish. But sometimes it is nice to have your expertise and industry knowledge in there. So that drives me nuts.
Yeah, I think the sweet spot is where I tee up projects and get them started and put a client on them and then just hand them off.
Yeah.
Like where I'm doing the project generation, like I started 6 different exploration projects
And
this
we
year,
did that.
and I put clients on them who have funding and they run them and then they go through the regular team.
And we did that. We project generated, we found a client, they funded, and then we gave it to the geology team and it's running.
I still keep stepping in it here and there, but I need to back
But
off.
but you're doing it because you're excited. But
Right.
It's not like you're not hand holding, you're not like, So,
Right.
So sometimes it works, but there's been a few where it just really has not.
What do you think people misunderstand about the X in Mine EX-Plorers?
I would say if they just read it offhand, they would have no idea what it means.
That's fair.
I bet most people within our industry would just assume it's exploration.
Right.
Because that makes the most sense. Mine exploration,
Right.
for sure.
And they're just like, they threw a weird hyphen in just to get around copyright or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think I will wrap up. I will do one more question. Would you rather rappel a 200-foot mine shaft or do claim renewals for 10,000 claims?
Mine shaft, 100%.
Mine shaft?
Yeah.
You did 120 the other day?
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in shape, so it's a lot easier.
And that was even like a crappy bottom and all that. So, yeah.
I've got some other good questions here, but I'm going to save them. I think we've done some good ones.
That was fun.
It's a good episode.
That was a lot of fun.
There you go. You were fretting about it. You didn't think you'd like it.
Well, I never know what kind of questions you're going to ask because sometimes you just go.
Sometimes I'll ask overly technical questions about like industry things you don't study like I do, so it just throws you off.
Yeah, I like the high level knowledge.
Well, these are personal, yeah.
Yeah, no, this was a good time.
Thanks for watching episode 72. Heading to Tennessee in the morning. Crystal just got back from Stampede in Calgary, Alberta,
Sure
the
did.
economic engine of Canada.
That was phenomenal. Celebrated America's birthday over there.
Nice.
Yeah, in style.
Yeah, I bet. Thanks for watching.